Yeah, buddy. Hey, look, I love this time of the year because there is so much football on the agenda. And I know, hey, if you love college football, you're just flipping through channels during the week because almost some of the best football is on. I know you like the big conferences, the big schools, then this ain't your cup of tea. But my cup of tea is football any day of the week. And in November, it's been like that. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, there have been football games. And let's go right into it. The college football scoreboard. We're going to go into a week of review starting with a Tuesday night football games. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, on Tuesday night, there were two games. And we have to start with Bowling Green. Look, Bowling Green was led by their quarterback, Mac McDonald, who had almost 400 yards in the air with 4 touchdowns in a 42-35 victory over Tulane. The shining moment in this was the receiver, Hillier, who had 8 receptions for over 240 yards receiving. My goodness gracious. They threw it all over the place. But the difference of this game was the 3 turnovers that the defense took away, not to mention the 4 sacks and 5 QB hits. Bowling Green was playing out of their mind. Now, Toledo stayed in the game. Tucker Gleason, their quarterback, 22 of 40 for 329. He had those 3 TDs, but we mentioned those 2 interceptions, and that was the difference in this ball game. I got to shout out. Oh, my guy Alex will be here soon. I got to shout out what Toledo did. I know it has not been the best of seasons, but Toledo definitely put up some points this week, and I'm going to tell you something. It was exciting to see them. Hey, look, they are 7-4. They were actually the favorites in this game, but Bowling Green, not somebody to sleep on, definitely came correct and got the W in a game that, hey, it's in the Midwest, Maction, so you know it was starting to snow around there. Looking nice, man. Look, shout out to Bowling Green, 6-5. They are now bowl eligible. Let's see what happens down the line. Yep, my guy Nick talking about all MAC games are shootout. Look, I need some Maction in my life, absolutely, because those games, you never know what you're going to get. It's going to be high scoring unless there's a lot of snow, but we'll talk about that one in a little bit. Look, let's move right along to the next game on the Tuesday night docket. And I know, ladies and gentlemen, for those of us, we were on Tuesday night, most likely, we're still getting over the hangover from the Monday night games, especially this week. Yes, my Washington Commanders got the W against the Eagles. But Tuesday is also full of these MAC games, and one of them being Ohio, not Ohio State. Nope, I'm talking about the Bearcats getting the W over Ball State. And look, Ohio is 8-3. Already bowl eligible, looking to potentially get into that MAC title game. We will see if they can finish out the year. This game was led by their running back, Bangura. He's a freshman, a true freshman, ladies and gentlemen, almost 150 on the ground with 2 TDs. But you also got to give credit to that special teams. That kicker, Nathaniel Volkas, 3 field goals and 3 extra points, counted for 12 points for that offense. That definitely helped them going down the stretch. So he pulled it out. Listen, John Paddock of Ball State tried to get it done. Almost threw 50 passes, 273 yards in the air, and 2 TDs. But for them, it was that rushing attack. 96 yards by a guy named Carson Steele. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you think. I love that name, Carson Steele. Gives a little Carson Wentz to it, but then it has a little steel. You know, like a rough cigarette, a steel. You know what I mean? Pittsburgh in the 70s, that type of thing to me, man. So I am loving it. Yeah, buddy. Yep, Bobcats getting the W. So absolutely. What's up, Kyle? Sean with the morning news. Hey, you absolutely know. Hey, shout out to you, my guy. Hey, best wishes. I know you're moving today. Hopefully it's not a painful move. I know what moving is like. So, but shout out to you on this new move in your life, man. Hope everything is well and we could grace your ears with some of this good football news, man. Oh, man. Yes, the match is definitely a frantic pace. It's back and forth. And look, Ohio got the W. Ball State, 5-6. You thought this was going to be the one that's going to push them over to make them bowl eligible. But hey, you still got, what, 2 more games remaining? Or actually, no, just one. They got Miami of Ohio, and Miami of Ohio is 5-6 as well. So they both need to pull out the W to get a bowl eligible. So we'll definitely see. And those were your Tuesday night games. And look, ladies and gentlemen, if you are thinking about what to do on Tuesday night, I do want to give you a number of shows to watch. Let's Talk Football NFC South Takeover, Let's Talk Football The Roundtable, and Let's Talk Fantasy Football all run on Tuesday night. So any of your NFL news, definitely check that out, because it's definitely something you're going to want to see. Is DJ Stroud staying number one guy? I don't know. I mean, the stats don't lie, but I know with some of these pollsters, some of these guys that are, these voters in the Heisman hype, you might need to get that last W at the end of the year against Michigan, but we'll see. We'll definitely see if he keeps things going. Let's move on to Wednesday. Hump Day! Wednesday night football games. And look, there was 3 games on tonight, but there was one game that my mind was watching. Look, one of the things that I've always grown up with, my mom has always told me, and she's always loved it, and she shared the passion with me, on any given day that we're playing football, if it is covered in snow, you better be front row. I don't care how cold it is. I don't care where it is. You need to be front row. If you watch this game, the field was covered, absolutely covered in snow, and the score is definitely indicative of that. Western Michigan pulls out the W over Central 12-10, ladies and gentlemen. So, hey, shout out to Western for getting the W, led by their running back, Sean Tyler, over 26 carries, 177 yards, and a touchdown. Look, this guy, if you watch the highlights, you would just see him go break left, dart right down the field, and it's like nobody could catch him, and everybody was running in slow motion in that snow. And then he'd break off right, and then he'd break down the field. So he was getting it done, and definitely had that thing moving in a time when you really couldn't have much offense. Oh yeah, buddy, bring in my guy Alex.
Sorry to say.
Yeah, buddy, yo. I was talking about that Western Michigan game in the snow. You could barely see outside. Beautiful football, but obviously the score is indicative of that.
It honestly kind of surprised me, because I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but that Central Michigan running back has played so well all year.
Yeah, Bert Emanuel? Is that him, or is it? Let me see. Oh, no, Lou Nichols.
Yes, Lou Nichols. Yeah, he's been solid all year, so I expected him to have a big game, especially when I saw that weather.
Yeah.
And it didn't quite go that way, but those are the kind of games. I said it yesterday on the show with Andrew. I love those snow games, those blizzard games. As an offensive lineman, those were my favorite to play in.
Exactly.
I love to see that.
Yeah, and shout out to Ray Kennedy, who actually shed some light, because we're looking at this game, and then as we know, for those of you that are NFL fans, the Buffalo game against Detroit was supposed to be scheduled in Buffalo, but obviously the snow is, almost covering the stadium. You know what I mean? I think what did the stat they said, when you have the snow is higher than both of the running backs?
Yeah, there's a chance to get up to 6 feet of snow, and Chubb's 5'11" and Singletary's 5'7". So. Right. Yeah.
So for health concerns, we're glad they did move it to Detroit, but then you have a game like this in Michigan. You know the terrain, you know that area.
Yeah.
I don't know if there was anything that was going to stop Western Michigan from playing Central in this one.
Yeah, they were playing that no matter what.
Yeah. Absolutely. So Western getting the W. Sean Tyler had himself a game recently, as of late. We talked about Lou Nichols, but he came off the injury, and really, like you said, he only had 35 yards in this game. He just doesn't seem, I don't know, maybe since the injury, maybe
he came back too soon.
That's what I'm thinking. I just don't know, because even at the start of the year, he seemed a lot better than what he's doing right now. So it's interesting. But while he's been struggling, a name that NFL fans might remember is making a resurgence, but it's not him, ladies and gentlemen. It's his son, Bert Emanuel Jr., has been showing up as of late. Last week, he had like an 80-yard run or something like that, and he balled out. This game, he had 98 yards on the ground with a touchdown. Also was 3 of 3 in the air. This guy, they're really starting to try to use him in every facet of their offense. It didn't show with the score, but I mean, with the snow, what do you expect? But
you can only do so much.
Well, right. Yeah, so Western does get the W, and staying in the state of Michigan, Eastern Michigan beats Kentucky 31-24. Look, this one was led by Taylor Powell, their quarterback, over 315 yards and 3 TDs. They had their running game going with Evans for over 90 yards and a touchdown. But look, Kent State, they only lost by 7. They were in the ball game. Colin Schlee threw the ball. He ran the ball. They had some running game, but just could not pull it out in the end.
Yeah, and to me, I think you look at it, and Kent State's one of those teams that's better than their 4-7 record shows. They've hung with some better teams. They just couldn't get it done at home this time around. Eastern Michigan is the better team. Yeah. And their record shows it at 7-4. Congrats to them on being bowl eligible. Would have been a couple games ago now, and keep it rolling.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, like you said, Kent State played above their weight, if you will. Eastern's a little bit better. They had the lead going into halftime, 17-10, but lost the second half completely, with Eastern scoring 24 of their 31 points in that second half. So Kent was not able to sustain it, but hey, just keep fighting. I know pretty much the season's over. I think you only got a game or two left, if that. I think it's just a game left. Yeah. So Kent just play for pride. Play for pride. Yep. Eastern,
finish strong.
Eastern will be playing for a bowl. They are in a bowl game, so we'll see who they end up getting at the end of the year. One more Wednesday game. The Miami of Ohio team defeated my guy Nick's Northern Illinois 29-23. Miami of Ohio is one player, Avalon Smith, the quarterback, 185 yards and a touchdown, 100 on the ground, and 2 TDs, 3 TDs combined between him and then their rushing game, who had almost 50 carries for over 170 yards. Look, they're dedicated to the run. I'm gonna say that, Alex.
That is absolutely insane. And the quarterback alone had 20 carries himself.
Right.
Absolutely insane. So you know what you're getting from Miami of Ohio. They're gonna run the ball and run the ball and run the ball and just try and stop it.
Exactly. Over and over and over. Hey, and rightfully so if it gets the job done. And not to be outdone, NIU, we know their running team, 32 total carries for 200 yards. It didn't show up in the game. They weren't able to pull it out. And look, in Northern Illinois, I feel for them. They're 3-8 right now. They've struggled throughout this year. They've had times where it's like, we could have made it. They could have upset here. We could have made it upset there, but it just hasn't been the greatest of seasons for them.
Yeah, and it's one of those situations where I thought they'd be a little bit better. Yeah. But like you said, those pieces just haven't connected. They haven't really figured it out for long stretches of time. Like you said, there's those moments where it's like, hey, maybe this is where they start to get back on track, and then they kind of fall back again. So, tough season. Like we said with Kent State, just finish strong and rebound for next year.
Oh yeah. Now, Miami of Ohio is 5-6. They are one game out of potentially making a bowl. Let me check. I think
they're home versus Ball State next week, and the winner's bowl eligible.
Yep.
Their seasons are on the line next week, both them and Ball State.
So if you want to watch a game, ladies and gentlemen, and it's the Maction, they're going for their 6th win. I understand, but I'm going to tell you something. This is going to be a game that you're going to take a look at because they're fighting for something. And at this time of the year, those are the ones you want to watch.
Absolutely.
Those are the ones you want to watch. So going right ahead, the Thursday night game, there was only one Thursday night game, and I actually messaged you on NFL Edition when you first got on about this one because it was ugly early, Alex.
Yeah.
What was it? Was it 35-7 when I messaged you?
Yeah, I think so.
It was
Yeah.
rough. It was rough.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah,
Oh,
look,
yeah.
Tulane quietly, I don't know quietly, but they're ranked 21st in the country
And they're
at
9-2.
8-2.
Like,
Yeah, 92, right?
yeah.
What? Ladies and gentlemen,
They're
this is not your parents, your moms, and your pops, Tulane. This is a
no.
new team.
They're in that running with UCF and all those schools for that automatic bid into the New Year's Six Bowl for that
Right.
group of 5 automatic bid. It's just that highest ranked group of 5 team. So if you look at that CFP ranking, it's them and UCF.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, UCF beat them last week, so they have that one spot up. But it's 20-21 right now, so they're both fighting for that New Year's Six Bowl right now.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, when you got quality wins over Kansas State, Houston, East Carolina, Memphis. You lost a 1-possession game a week ago to Central Florida, but then you get an opportunity to close out your season against last year's Final Four finalist, Cincinnati. So you want to talk about a season. I mean, they've got the strength of schedule. They've been able to win their potential games, and they haven't looked bad. And look, this is the same team that a year ago, if I'm not mistaken, they upset Oklahoma.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah. So Tulane, what they got going on over there, they are on the map. And look, if you want to look at it from a number standpoint, they're led by Michael Pratt, who had 6 total touchdowns, 3 in the air, 3 on the ground. I mean, look, that's where the offense runs through, Alex.
Yeah. Yeah, this is another one of those guys where you look at, say, Malik Cunningham from Louisville, and it's one of these guys where your game plan is, okay, if we stop him, we win this game. And SMU clearly could not do that on Thursday.
At all. Now, at the same time, SMU also helped a whole lot, giving Tulane 5 turnovers, 3 recovered fumbles, and 2 interceptions. Tanner Mordecai, just under 300 yards, had those 2 TDs, but you still give the ball away. You know, that's taking away possessions that you absolutely need. Tyler Levine had 18 carries for 80 yards and then also 7 receptions. This is all in a losing effort. Man, we're trying to spotlight something on them that did it. And I'm going to tell you something. It's something I've been talking to you about, Alex. You know, SMU this year is just a disappointment. I don't know what's going on with them.
I wish I had an answer for you, because with Mordecai and some of these other players, I thought they'd be that 8, 9, maybe 10 win team pushing for that group of 5 New Year's Six bid. And I mean, they got their tails handed to them on Thursday. They go toe-to-toe with Houston, that 77-63 game that did not go to overtime.
Where's that team?
Yeah, you want to talk about disappointing teams there? Right. They're right up there. They went toe-to-toe with Cincinnati. They got manhandled by UCF. They went toe-to-toe with TCU, toe-to-toe with Maryland. So, like, SMU's been in games with some very good teams. They haven't done enough to get those wins. And it's kind of frustrating to watch. I mean, probably as an SMU fan, it's extremely frustrating. But just as somebody that expected more out of them this year, it's a little frustrating.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tale of 2 teams, like you said. I mean, we've seen they've gone toe-to-toe with teams. We've seen their offense can put up numbers behind Tanner Mordecai, but it just, I don't know, maybe you came up against a buzzsaw. Tulane is hot at the right time. Yeah. And they're trying to, like you said, they're trying to be in that conversation for New Year's Six. So we'll see. This definitely does not help to SMU, because, dear God, I don't talk about falling off.
Now they're bowl eligible, but what you're trying to play for as good a bowl game as possible, and sitting at 6-5 right now, it's looking a little rough.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. What is going on, Nathan? You know, speaking of one of the teams that beat SMU, Maryland beating them 34-27 earlier in the season. Yeah. You know, damn. So, hey, shout out to SMU, man. Like you said, they're still bowl eligible. that I know they're happy to have this one behind them, and they end off the season with Memphis, who is Memphis is 5-5. They're going for their opportunity to get a bowl game, so they're going to give you their best shot.
Oh yeah,
SMU, go out the right way, man. Go out strong for sure. Let's get into it. Yes, you did. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Let's go into the Friday night games from last night. And look, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you something. This is why you need to watch games regardless of the score of their records. Tulsa came into this game 3-7, and South Florida came in this game 1-9. If you look at that, you're like, I'm next. I'm turning. The final score was 48-42. Ladies and gentlemen, if you did not watch this one, you missed a gem because these guys were going back and forth. There was numbers all over the place. You got Braylon Braxton having over 300 and a touchdown with 20 yards on the ground. You got Byron Brown with 240 and 3 TDs in the air for South Florida and 76 yards on the ground. I mean, the quarterbacks were playing out of their minds today. And honestly, this game came down to about 2 turnovers. 2 turnovers that Tulsa they lost, and South Florida lost, and hey, that's what happens sometimes. But I mean, what a game though.
Yeah, it was. This was one where I checked the score last night before I went to bed, and I was like, man, I wish I would have watched that game. Like,
right?
Those are the kind of games, like you said, those records. It makes it so you might not want to watch it. But like you said, sometimes these are the best games.
Yeah,
and clearly it was a very good game. Defenses decided not to show up other than those turnovers. But yeah, it's a very fun game. Wish I would have had the chance to watch it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. This is one of the ones where I was like, "Dang, I might need to. If I got a minute, I might need to jump back in this and watch the highlights or something like that."
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Nate said, "Don't sleep on SMU though." Oh no, not at all. They put up. We talked about it a minute ago. They put up 77 against Houston. We know they could put up the numbers. It's a tale of two teams essentially, because they play tough against you guys and some of those other squads, but they got just thrashed 2 nights ago, 59-24. So yeah, definitely not sleeping on them, but it's
trying to figure out what's going on.
Right. It's frustrating if anything else, because we were the ones talking about them. Wisconsin couldn't make a bowl game. Wow.
Yep.
Could happen.
And it's crazy to think for how bad they were.
Yeah.
For them to be bowl eligible, it's one of those surprises where even Oklahoma, I was pushing for the longest time that they weren't going to be bowl eligible. So that's another team where I'm like, okay, like, yeah, they surprised me a little bit.
Oh, yeah. And if they can get that upset victory today against OK State, ooh, watch out.
Yeah.
Watch out. Yo, one more Friday night game. San Diego State getting the W over New Mexico. I'm going to be honest, this is not much of a surprise. We talked about how poor New Mexico has been this year. 2-9 is their record, so it's been rough. For instance, this game for the most part was their quarterback Jalen Maiden of San Diego State. 15-24 or 15-25, 280 and 2 TDs. Only had that 1 interception. They were able to move the ball. They were able to run the ball, pass the ball with very little obstruction. Honestly, New Mexico just is not that good of a team. I don't know what to really say. San Diego State did what they were supposed to do in this one.
Yeah, this is about exactly what I expected. San Diego State is the much better team, and they showed it.
Absolutely. Now Hassan is.
Yeah,
they are.
And look, they've been doing problem.
Right, they've been doing this the last couple of years. I remember last year that was one of the teams I was very nervous about going into the March Madness, because they are a team that can run with you. And not only that, they can shoot the lights out if they're on. Yeah. If Houston is on, they can absolutely shoot the lights out. So that's definitely a team that I am interested to see how it goes on down the line.
Thanks for watching. If you like that clip, be sure to check out the other great content from the Let's Talk Football community. And as always, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you'll be notified when more great content like this becomes available.